Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mad Greek MMA blog. I am Kirk Constantine, and with me is Lawrence Carranza. Lawrence is a practitioner in jiu-jitsu, and he has a blue belt. Today we will be discussing Alistair Overeem, the heavyweight. Alistair is scheduled to fight next year against Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Lawrence, tell us about Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
He's a super heavyweight contender who's made his way and managed to be able to make the heavyweight limit, which is 265, and he is on a roll with the current victory over fellow heavyweight Travis Brown.
The fight before that was against Cain Velasquez, which didn't end too well for Antonio Silva, and that was his first fight coming out of Strikeforce. Is that correct?
Yes, he came in with a lot of hype. People had him pretty much as winning the fight easily against Cain Velasquez, but it didn't end that way.
No, it didn't. But let's talk about Alistair Overeem real quick, because he is really the topic right now. Currently, he is still technically under suspension for not steroids. What was it?
He just failed a post-drug test, and his testosterone levels were too out of range, so they assumed he was doing something illegally, so they suspended him before they could officially license him.
So because of that, his fight that was against Junior Dos Santos was for the championship, was obviously taken away. So it's been a while since we've seen Alistair fight. He also recently signed with the Black Zillions, who is a Florida-based crew. In that crew is Rashad Evans and one other big name.
There's plenty of big other names. Vitor only temporarily joined them so he could fight John Jones, but there's other guys like Michael Johnson, Tyrone Spong, and a couple of really good practitioners are part of that gym as well.
So Alistair Overeem is really making his way back into the scene. And give it about a month, and I think a lot of people will forget about what happened because, well, quite frankly, everyone is almost over with what happened with the suspensions. It wasn't steroids, even though a lot of people believe that he's taken it before. Let's talk about his fighting style real quick. Lawrence, you have a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. What can you tell us about Alistair Overeem's fighting style?
He's from Holland, and he's a Dutch kickboxer, and that's what he specialized in for a very long time. And then he began his grappling. So I believe he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu now, but he doesn't use it as much because he believes in a stand-up fighting style more than anything.
Which pretty much means if it goes to the ground, he will be comfortable on the ground.
Of course.
He is a master kickboxer, and I feel that it wasn't until he became a heavyweight that it really became lethal for people.
Yes, because as a light heavyweight, he struggled being 6'4", trying to cut down to 205 pounds. But once he allowed himself to be a true heavyweight, he showed his full potential of knocking people out, winning fights left and right, kickboxing and MMA.
Now, Alistair Overeem is a rarity, and I say rarity because there really, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no one that has had the K1 championship, kickboxing championship, and a mixed martial arts championship at the same time, especially in the heavyweights.
Yes, that's correct. He is the first, and he has 3 titles. I guess he won the kickboxing heavyweight Grand Prix tournament. He held the Strikeforce heavyweight title, never lost it, and then he became the interim Dream heavyweight champion.
So, after all that, Alistair Overeem was finally signed to the UFC. His first fight was against Brock Lesnar. He won, surprised absolutely no one, sent Brock Lesnar into quote-unquote retirement. And then now, he's back. And we will be seeing him, is it in February?
Yes, I believe so, on Super Bowl weekend.
Yes, and his opponent, as we mentioned before, is Antonio Bigfoot Silva. That is definitely going to be a great fight. Do you want to make an early prediction right now?
Alistair Overeem, first round knockout.
If there is anyone that would disagree that Alistair Overeem is not going to win, you're crazy.
Anything can happen. Bigfoot's got a strong chin, and he's lethal as well, but I see Alistair bringing it.
Brock Lesnar was also very strong, but we saw what happens to him. Anyway, that concludes the second podcast. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening. do not be afraid to subscribe to the blog, and also go on Facebook, I know all of you have it, and look up the Kirk Constantine Show, like the show on Facebook, and follow the KC Show on Twitter. And from there, you can find more MMA news. My name is Kirk Constantine. I would like to thank Luscious Lorenz for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.